always one of the favourites to win the Champions League. Is there a feeling after tonight, Nobbins, that this could be your year?
Well, I think that every year, to be honest, or more in hope rather than expectation. I guess the thing for me with the Champions League has always been the Champions League is about not necessarily being the best team. It's about being the best team in the right moment. And I think that's maybe what Haaland gives us now that maybe this team was lacking before. I think too many occasions we may have played better in the Champions League, but we were still knocked out anyway. And it's because we didn't kill the game off. For example, like Real Madrid last season, even in the first leg, we could have killed off the game in the first half. In the second leg, like Grealish had a really good chance, really good save by Courtois, and then there was another chance cleared off the line. I can't recall. Is that not being clinical in those moments? And I think that maybe Haaland could be the perfect player in that respect. That's my hope, anyway. And I also think that maybe something going in City's favour is it's a relatively weak Champions League this year, if that makes sense, in terms of there is no overarching favourite. There is no, like Pep's Barca or even, MSN Barca or the Real Madrid that won 3 in a row or Bayern Munich, when they had like Lewandowski. I think every team has at least one identifiable weakness. And I don't think that is normally the case in the Champions League. So it's potentially more up for grabs, which potentially might make it harder for whoever wants to win it. I'll keep saying City will win the Champions League until it eventually happens.
No, I hear you on that. And I mean, Mo, we are going to get on to Inter a little bit later, but you must have been keeping an eye on that City score and thinking, oh my days. Yes, they've beaten German teams by a fair amount before, but in knockout games, like this kind of scoreline is fairly unprecedented.
100%. Listen, me and you, we talked about this game after the Crystal Palace game, and we said that City will definitely go through. I didn't expect 7-0. However, they are the best team in the world. I know that. Overall, I still consider Man City the best team in the world. There is a reason why they are second in the league, and they are the bookies' favorite to win the Champions League on every single place in the world. There is a reason why when you have someone like Haaland, he is a machine. He can score goals out of nowhere. He just needs the right service, the right time, the right moment. And that's the Champions League. Maybe the system in the league is different. Arsenal are ahead. They are on course not to have the best season in the league, but it looks like in the Champions League, they dismantled their group. Even against Dortmund, they look like the better team, and they took their foot off the gas a little bit, and Dortmund got a draw. But it looked like this City team, this is the year they're focused. This is the year they're ready to win the Champions League. Nobody can sit and say that Man City, because they're struggling in the league, they can't win the Champions League. Remember, Real Madrid won the Champions League without winning the league. It's the right time, the right moment. And I think this is City's year to win it, because I don't see anybody else close to them. And if they don't win it, this is the year that we should say, now it's a failure if you don't win it. Everything is ahead of you. I'm not saying that to put pressure, but there is pressure. With this performance, there has to be pressure. With this forward, there has to be pressure. With Pep Guardiola's 7th year, there has to be pressure. This is the time to deliver now. It's without, and people, I want to tell Man City fans something. Maybe everybody's looking at Man City and saying, now you have the best teams. We want you to fall, because nobody wants to see you succeed. It's as simple as that. You are the best team in Europe. When Real Madrid were winning 3 in a row, nobody wanted them to win that third one. Even people that were not rivals with them, because you don't want to see the best team wins. You like the underdog story. That's the story.
V, you're shaking your head there. You don't think there's pressure?
Oh, well, there's pressure internally. There's pressure because we want this trophy. Like manager, players, many players, when asked, what do you want to do? They want to win the league. They want to win Champions League. We know that they want that. Us as fans, and I know they're not really crisp in terms of the fans on my photo, but they wanted this tonight as well. They cheered on those players for that 7-0. But Mo, and I've had the pleasure of hearing Mo over I think almost 2 years now. He said the same thing after the first leg versus Real Madrid, that the pressure's on City. City should have done more in that first leg. City, it's this year for City to win it. That's why I'm shaking my head, because I've heard that narrative often. We're favorites when we've never won it the first year Pep gets here, and every year since. We're supposed to win it, and every year we're the best team to win it. So that's why I'm shaking my head. I've heard it before.
I suppose the question would be this: if City fans consider themselves to be the best team in the world, surely you have to be the favourites to win the European competition.
Has that ever come out of a City fan's mouth, or it's always rival fans around?
So you don't think you've been the best team in the world, like at least once or twice in the last
Look,
5-6 years?
Look, look. For me personally, I think that's also the issue that we've had, and that has also led to our downfall. I think this whole thing where you go on TV and even when the Champions League just starts, the first sentence is Man City have to do this, have to do that. I look at the other leagues. At the end of the days, I look at the other teams and say, as much as we're good, what we're playing football, like even 2017, I told somebody, I was like, there's no way this City team is going to win the Champions League. When people count us, we look terrible. And if we meet these teams, if we meet Liverpool or this team who count us, we're going to be in trouble. Guess what? Liverpool ripped us apart with counters. And people looked at me in the pub, says, why are you not flinching? I was like, because I knew that we're not how we are playing. We can't sustain it. Yes, we're beating teams in the Premier League, but we're leaking in goals. The thing about this pressure thing is, I get it. Look, at the end of the day, you need pressure. A team like Man City, for the way they managed to go in the Champions League and dismantle teams from Germany, especially, we seem to enjoy teams from Germany. I think Schalke was given 8 or 7. So just for me, I just feel like, yes, the pressure is there, but I don't really believe most of the times that we are favorites, because there's teams in here that are more experienced than us. Like looking at Bayern, as bad as Bayern is, they know how to win it. As bad as Madrid are sometimes, Madrid, they impressed me at Anfield, Terry. I'm sorry to say this as City fans, I know we beat Liverpool 5-0 at Anfield, but I don't think if Anfield was packed like that, because that was during lockdown, is packed like that, we are down 2-0 at Anfield, and all the Madrid players did is go down the middle and talk to each other and ripped Liverpool apart and shushed the whole of Anfield. That's just eliteness. I don't know. I just put my hands up sometimes and say, I know City is great, but looking at teams like Madrid and Bayern, sometimes how they perform in the Champions League, I give them credit. It's the same as PSG. They say PSG is great, or PSG, Neymar, Messi. But look what happens when there's pressure. We break. Let me just say one thing, Terry. I know we've won, but sometimes when I'm watching the City team, I try to look at certain things. I look at certain things in the game when we're winning. That is our concentration always 100%. Like today, after the Edison issue that happened, our defenders sort of went iffy. There was a bit of iffiness. We started passing the ball, giving it away. That's what I don't like about City sometimes in the Champions League.
I understand what you're saying, Patty. But at the same time, there's a difference between not being favourites and being underdogs. And I know by the definition of that, everyone who isn't the favourite is an underdog. But with your squad, the money that you spend, like you should be looked at as one of the favourites every year. I mean, Hamza was saying, yes, you're the best team in the world. Like Nobbins, how do you see it? Like, you should be considered one of the favourites and have pressure.
We
are.
Right? We are the favourites. I think. Listen, we are the favourite by far. I'm being honest here. A lot of City fans, we talk down. Listen, we're favourites by far, 100%. We're ranked. Like if you go to the betting, we're 2-1 to win it. Yeah. Second was Bayern Munich. Real Madrid are third, despite having the heritage, despite having the Champions League. That is the bets. The betting is putting Man City still favourites. The reason is, I believe 100%. Last year, the reason why we didn't win it, I'm going to say this, Terry, we had the pressure in the league. So the problem is, when it came to March, April, our players start falling down like flies. Injury. Stones, we had to play him right back. He then got injured. Within 15 minutes, he was out the game. Yeah? We were winning that game comfortably. Against Real Madrid, they did nothing. Nothing. I'm being honest. I'm always frank, yeah? They did nothing. Real Madrid were nothing. Yeah? We had them on ropes. We should have scored 7. As soon as we didn't have Kyle Walker, Stones comes off, we had to play a 37-year-old centre-back. Game changes. Yeah? We go to the Real Madrid in Bernabeu, where we have beaten them before. We're comfortably. Kyle Walker pockets Vinicius. Game's done. It's finished. Their fans are walking out. We then had Kyle Walker missing, and we lose the game. And I said to City fans, Champions League, you need your defense all on point. The defenders have to be on point. That's number one. You cannot be conceding, because you can't do this kind. Arsenal will never do that comeback that they did against Bournemouth in the Champions League. You can't do that. Champions League, only probably Real Madrid can do that. Champions League, you need to be absolutely here. So I'm happy that all our defenders are back. Stones, Laporte, Diaz. We had to sign Akanji, 5th choice centre-back, because of that problem last season. because our players were not reliable, because Laporte goes injured, because Stones goes injured. So we then have to play. But now they're all fit. If they're fit, I'm not scared of anyone. We're not scared. Why should you? Why are you scared? Napoli probably. I'm not. Why are you scared of Real Madrid? They're old. They're old. I'm not scared of Real Madrid. The thing is, people have this respect because because of the name Real Madrid, we should. I respect them, yes, but we've beaten Real Madrid 3 out of 4 times. Why are we not favorites? We can win this, man. Forget anyone. If we get Moore's team, that's easy. We walk in the park. Moore's going home, 100%. Inter have no chance against us. No way. We're beating them. More, there's no way. You don't deserve.
No, I said
After
that.
we're going
Of
home.
course,
It's not
listen,
against
everybody will go against City. Okay,
We
anybody will
beat
be
you, but
underdogs
Real
against
Madrid,
City,
I'm
right?
not scared.
Anybody will
I'm
be
so
underdogs
mad.
against City. But listen, nobody wants to face Haaland. Nobody wants to face
Yes.
Pep Guardiola. This one thing. If you can't be gassed after 7-0, guys, when are you going to be
Exactly.
confident?
It's not about being gassed. It's not about not
Come
being
on.
confident.
I don't like
Listen,
this humble thing when you guys
you
like.
don't
when
like humble, but that's what City are.
No,
City are humble. Our
when
fan
I'm
base
sorry,
are humble.
V, when we talk about, when we say you're not favorites, you guys are like, we're the best team in the world. But
Where?
once we mention the word pressure, you guys go back and say, no pressure on
You're
us.
missing the point.
Come
You're missing
on,
the point.
guys.
We understand the
Say
pressure.
it
That's what I'm
as it
talking about.
is. You guys
Who
are
says
scared to say
who says
that.
we're the best? I've never heard anyone, and it's
Oh.
rival fans. It always come from
Oh
rival
my
fans.
God.
So let me
Patrick.
just- Nobbins, I want to go to Nobbins here. Have you ever heard City fans say you're the best team in the world?
This season or in previous seasons?
In general, over the last 5-6 years, have you ever heard that? When you were Centurions, as an
Oh,
example.
no, in general, yeah, and I've said it myself. I thought that the last couple of years, yeah, but this season I don't think we are because we're not even the best team in our own league. So yeah, in previous years, like the Centurion year, domestic treble year, even the year we lost the Champions League final, maybe last year as well. Yeah, I definitely agree. But the whole point of the Champions League is that the best team doesn't always necessarily win. I know Hamza's like getting very excited and saying how we can beat everyone, but let's not forget we lost to bloody Leon like just 3 years ago. So
Monaco.
But that would be
Nobbins,
Eric
can I
Garcia.
turn, Hamza, let me turn the question a little bit. Nobbins, are you the best team that is still in the Champions League?
No.
Oh my God.
I think this is what I talked about earlier when I talked about how I feel like this is a relatively weak Champions League this year. The best team in Spain are not in the competition. The best team in England this year aren't in the competition. The best team in Germany are struggling to win their own league, which they've won the last 10 years on the bounce. PSG. The only team that's consistently performing both domestically and in Europe is Napoli this year. I would say that they're probably so far the best team in the world based on this season. Napoli. Is that to say that I should go? Therefore we can't win it because Napoli are better? No. Of course not. We can still be confident and we can still hope that we win. But yeah, just to answer your question, Terry, I don't think we're the best team in the world this year at this stage because Arsenal are better than us so far.
Yeah, but I get that, but they're not in this competition, are they?
They're not.
So
they're not. But that's not due to a failing of them this year. That's due to a failing of Arsenal last year.
I understand that, but so I'd say Arsenal have been better than you this year because of the league, but they're not in this competition. You say Barca, but Barca have just been knocked out of the lesser tournament by Man United, who are currently third. So, like, I don't know. I kind of look at it like I think there should be pressure on teams, and this is always my view. When Man United and when City and when Liverpool and when Madrid and when Barca, to name a few teams, are in the Champions League, there should always be pressure. There should
obviously.
All of our teams either not being in it or not winning it is failure. Now, it isn't the kind of failure that equals sack the manager. You've ruined our club, but it still should be a sense of we didn't achieve it, because it should be a goal every year to win it.
No, yeah,
so
100%. Make no mistake. Like, City have failed in Europe. Guardiola has failed in Europe at City. I'm not trying to sugarcoat that. Anyone who thinks otherwise is delusional, quite frankly. But as you say, does that mean we should therefore question Guardiola as a manager, or does it mean that like a player's legacy isn't necessarily as good? No, I think it's quite standard to say that City have failed in Europe up until this point, because they have, because we've been in one final and we bottled it, quite frankly. So I'm very comfortable to say that City are failures in Europe.
I hear you on that. Well, I got some super.